The fifth subordinating conjunction is the determiner whose. The speaker indicates the same subject or object that the precedent indicates in the main clause with the precedent whose in the subordinate clause. The determiner whose indicates a subject of belonging. The determiner whose to indicate the same subject or object as the precedent consists of the phrase of an indication with the indication in the subordinate clause. The subordinate clause is linked by the phrase of the noun to include the determiner whose and an indication. The speaker intends to describe the precedent in the main clause with its belonging. The belonging of the precedent is indicated by the indication that consists of the phrase of the noun to link the subordinate clause to the main clause. The indication indicates the subject or object that belongs to the subject or object that the precedent indicates. For example, let's assume that the precedent in the main clause is indicated by the personal pronoun him. The speaker intends to describe the object indicated by the personal pronoun him with his belonging. Let's assume the belonging of the man of the object indicated by the personal pronoun him as this electric device, mouse. The speaker describes the precedent him and indicates the same object as by the determiner whose. Him, whose indicates the object that belongs to the precedent. Him, whose, mouse. And then the subordinate clause is stated about the mouse that belongs to the precedent in the main clause. There are three sentences. The first sentence is this: I see a chocolate whose specialty is canape. The speaker indicates the object of the transitive verb see in the main clause with the precedent of chocolate. And the subordinate clause whose specialty is canape. The speaker intends to describe the object of the transitive verb see, a chocolate, with its belonging. The indication specialty to consist of the phrase of the noun whose specialty belongs to the object indicated by the phrase of the noun a chocolate, that is the precedent in the main clause. The subordinate clause is linked to the main clause by the phrase of the noun whose specialty. That the determiner whose to indicate the same object that the precedent of chocolate indicates, and the noun specialty that belongs to the precedent of chocolate consists of. Then the listeners can understand that the subordinate clause whose specialty is canape is a description about the belonging of the precedent. The speaker indicates the phrase of the noun whose specialty to indicate the subject that belongs to the object indicated by the precedent, a chocolate, as the subject of the be verb is in the subordinate clause. In the subordinate clause, the subject indicated by the noun specialty that belongs to the precedent, a chocolate, is described by the condition from the definition of the be verb is. The belonging of the precedent is defined as the subjective complement cadaver in the subordinate clause. The sentence is integrated from these two clauses. The first confers to be the main clause is this: I see a chocolate. The second confers to be the subordinate clause is this: its specialty is cadaver. You can see the possessive determiner it is applied in the second conference. The speaker links the subordinate clause to the main clause because the object of the transitive verb see, indicated by the phrase of the noun a chocolate, corresponds with the possessive determiner it to indicate the subject that the object indicated by the noun specialty belongs to. The speaker reveals that the phrase of the noun a chocolate and the possessive determiner it indicate the same subject or object. So the speaker replaces the possessive determiner it into the subordinating conjunction whose as a determiner and links the subordinate clause whose specialty is cadaver, the precedent, a chocolate. The speaker replaces the possessive determiner it to indicate the same object as the phrase of the noun a chocolate with the determiner whose. The subordinate clause whose specialty is cadaver is linked as a description for the phrase of the noun a chocolate to be the precedent. The second sentence is this: I salute Jesus Christ, whose class I take. The speaker indicates the object of the transitive verb salute with the precedent, Jesus Christ, and the subordinate clause whose class I take, linked by the phrase of the noun whose class, to the main clause. The subordinate clause describes about the belonging of the precedent, Jesus Christ. The object indicated by the noun class belongs to the precedent, Jesus Christ, in the main clause. The speaker links the subordinate clause, whose class I take, as a description for the precedent, Jesus Christ, to the main clause from the phrase of the noun, whose class. The phrase of the noun, whose class, consists of the possessive determiner whose to indicate the same object as the precedent, Jesus Christ, and the noun class to indicate an object that belongs to the precedent, Jesus Christ. The phrase of the noun whose class to link the subordinate clause to the main clause indicates the object of the transitive verb take. In the subordinate clause whose class I take, the speaker intends to describe the precedent, Jesus Christ, with his belonging, indicated by the noun class. The object indicated by the noun class that belongs to the precedent, Jesus Christ, is the object to receive the definition of the transitive verb take from the speaker in the subordinate clause. The sentence is integrated from these two conferences. The first conference to be the main clause is this: I salute Jesus Christ. The second conference to be the subordinate clause is this: I take Jesus Christ to class. The speaker links the subordinate clause to the main clause because the object, Jesus Christ, of the transitive verb salute to be the precedent corresponds with the determiner, Jesus Christ, to reveal the subject that the object, class, in the phrase of the noun, Jesus Christ class, belongs to, as the object of the transitive verb take. The speaker links the two clauses with the accordance between the object of the transitive verb salute, Jesus Christ, and the determiner, Jesus Christ, that the object class belongs to. The speaker applies the phrase of the noun whose class as the subordinating conjunction to link the subordinate clause to the main clause to replace the determiner, Jesus Christ, of the phrase of the noun Jesus Christ class that indicates the object of the transitive verb take. The speaker replaces the subject of belonging, Jesus Christ, the punctuation mark, apostrophe, and the letter S into the subordinating conjunction whose, from the accordance with the precedent, Jesus Christ. The phrase of the noun whose class is linked behind the precedent, Jesus Christ, the subject, and the transitive verb take in the second conference stated in a sequence. The phrase of the noun whose class as the subordinating conjunction is stated behind the precedent, Jesus Christ, in the main clause. The subordinate clause is stated inverted in the arrangement of whose class as the object, I, the subject, and take, the transitive verb.